Okay, hello and welcome to this California fires update. And before we get started with the fires, let's talk about the power outages. The good news is Pacific Gas and Electric. We're going to talk about them a little bit. Well, actually, I'm going to get this off my chest right now because there's an excellent video I want you to watch about the truth about Pacific Gas and Electric and some of the connections between the existing government in California. So Mendocino County still has a lot of people out from Pacific Gas and Electric. And it's obvious there's huge corruption, and of course, a lot of it has to do with Wall Street. And this beautiful woman did a beautiful this beautiful woman. She is the fearless girl, as far as I'm concerned. Did a report I want you to watch. I'll card the video, also put it down below, about what's really happening in California and how Pacific Gas and Electric is putting people's lives in danger. With everything, and how the state hasn't done enough about it because the state is corrupt. The governor there has received money from Pacific Gas and Electric. It's just a tremendous amount of corruption. She exposes it. I just don't know why the mainstream media can't do this. This station is this I think it's Al Jazeera English, not an American company. Well, again, we got to rely on foreign media to uncover the corruption that goes on in this country, which is ridiculous. But it shows that our media is corrupt and in with Wall Street. So again, watch that video. I'll put the link below. But let's talk about these outages that are still ongoing. Good news is it's down to 235,000. But still, there are areas like Mendocino that are still out in the dark. Sonoma, still having lots of outages. Trinity County. And then we have a lot down here in San Diego County now. And this is from San Diego Gas and Electric, that there seems to be a big power outage there. I'm not sure what from, but I have a feeling it's from a wildfire or winds. And the latest on these fires is it's not good. Now, the extreme winds fuel an explosive fire near the Reagan Library. That's right. A fire is threatening the Reagan Library. That's how bad it's getting. So now we have more fires in Southern California. And the reason why is simple. It's because of the high winds and the low humidity. Take a look at some of these wind gusts reports out of San Diego and some of the highlands. 72, 73 mile an hour wind gusts in the Santa Ana Mountains and the foothills. 73 mile an hour wind gusts. We have a San Diego Mountain, 68 mile an hour wind gusts. Boulder Creek, 54 mile an hour wind gusts. Alpine, RAWS, 64. San Bernardino and Riverside County and Highland Springs, 72 mile an hour wind gusts. And you couple that with extremely low humidity, and this is the kind of situation you get. And we're going to take a look. No, let's go back to that. We're going to go to San Diego's office and show you that there is a red flag and warning in effect till 6 p.m. Thursday. So the whole state is getting hammered with these warm, dry winds that are very strong. And let's go and look at this. Let's get some observations here. So here you go. All right, we have limited observation, but this is 66 degrees. North wind isn't too bad, but look at the dew point. -6, 5% humidity. I mean, it's bone dry. The conditions are so tinder dry out there, and this is what's happening when you have these conditions. Let's get a little closer to San Diego here. All right, so we got the same observation, 64. All right, so this is another one. Let's see if we can get some when the winds were a little stronger. Yeah, some gusts of 13, isn't there? Yeah, some of the winds don't look too bad at this station, but we got another map we can look at here, and this is a fire and hazard. So here's another one. So this is Chino Airport. East wind at 15 miles an hour. We can go to the historical observations, which we're going to do in a minute. Gust to 22. The dew point is 1 degree. The air temperature is 63 degrees. So the humidity is only 8%. So while we're dealing with all this humidity here, they're dealing with hardly any humidity. So let's see if we can get some yeah, look at some of these gusts. 36, 35. Look at these dew points and these humidities are just incredible. And you can see it looks like they've got some smoke in the area. No surprise from all the fires that are going on. And we're going to look at satellite here on the high-resolution satellite and show you all the fires burning in California. Let's see if they show up on here. Yep, I see the one over here. Let's see, we can go a little further on in the day. You might be able to see the one by Reagan Library. I think this is where the Reagan Library is, right over here. You can see there's the smoke plume from that one. This looks like just cirrus over here. Let's go further up. This is the Kinkade fire. This is still going. This is the Kinkade fire right here. So this is still going here, this fire, which was started by Pacific Gas and Electric. They started that. Yep. And they started, I mean, why aren't the people who run Pacific Gas and Electric in jail for what they've done? First of all, they started the fire that destroyed Paradise. They started a fire that killed people. Why aren't these people in jail? You know, that's corruption right there for you. That's corruption. So let's go back and look at some more of these conditions here. You got red flag warnings in effect. Here's another one. This is Bakersfield in California. Southeast wind at 23 miles an hour. Gusting to 30. Air temperature 64. The dew point is negative 14. The humidity is 4%. Haze and blowing dust. So these are the conditions that they're dealing with there. These strong winds, these extremely low humidities. Look at some of these gusts, 40 miles an hour. I mean, this is very unusual. This is like one of the worst wind events we've ever seen in California because, again, it's so dry there. Can you imagine how dry that is? It's so dry. Things literally, the smallest spark can start a big wildfire. And that spark can come from anything. You know, and everybody's looking at power lines, but nobody's thinking about all the cars on the road and all. You know, I mean, this is a terrible situation that's going on out there with all these fires. So let's take a look at this map here that we have here of the wildfires, and we can actually look at the statistics for them. So this is, or that's just a thermal activity. This is the fire right here. So when you see this, this is a marked fire. This is the Kinkade fire. It doesn't say, or battling a vegetation fire. Doesn't see any, gives us any more details. But look at all these fires down in Southern California. So now it's shifting more to the south of the state, and you're seeing more fires here. So it looks like there's a Yosemite fire. This is the Yosemite fire. This is the Easy fire. Certainly not easy. So, we have a whole bunch of fires here. Water fire. I mean, multiple fires everywhere. Dexter fire. I mean, with these conditions, you could see how things can just spread out of control so quickly. Let's go to Cal Fire now. All right. For some reason, their site don't want to load properly. All right. So let's go to the Kinkade fire. This is now 30% contained. This is the one that started north of San Francisco, that PG&E started. So this is 30% contained. It is up to 76,825 acres. So that is huge. That is huge. All right, these smaller fires, Saddle Ridge, 97% contained. Tick Fire was 4,615. The Easy Fire, which hasn't been very much contained, is at 1,300 acres. The Burris Fire at 703 acres. The Hill Fire, which is at 200 acres. The Giddy Fire, which is not a Cal Fire incident. I don't understand why it says not a Cal Fire incident, why they don't have data on it. I don't understand that. Let's see. It doesn't say how many acres. It's just, it's the Los Angeles Fire Department. I guess they're not providing any information on that as far as the acreage of that fire. But you have all these fires: Palisades Fire, Caples Fire, Old Water Fire. All this stuff going on. Just loads of fires. Here you go, get fires on Twitter, so we can get some information on Twitter as well, and show you. All right, that's NHK. All right, why is that showing up in here? I don't know. All right, so here is that's Okinawa. So there's a fire there too as well, but we're looking at California. All right, so we're looking at California here. So here we go. It's the end of California as we know it, and it is. It really is. This happened in Sacramento. Cars had to be evacuated off a highway because the fire was just This is the easy fire in Simi Valley in California. Horses. This is just so sad. What's happening? And where's the president? Where is anyone talking about this? Believe it or not, there's not enough attention going to this. And then somebody's blaming the Democrats for the fires. No, it's climate change. LA homes threatened. All right, the Reagan Library was spared, fortunately, but homes are threatened. Hurricane force winds expected in parts of southern. Look at this. It's a firestorm. It's a firestorm. This is the reality of the climate crisis we are in right now. And this is how bad it's getting. And we're trying to fight these fires literally when these conditions, it's almost impossible to fight them. So here's a map of the California wildfires. Let's see if we can get this to work here. This is another map because we haven't really gotten a decent map yet. I don't understand why Cal Fire doesn't report all the fires on their site. They're supposed to be the whole state. But anyway, here you go. So here is the largest one. This is the large one here. This is the Kinkade fire here. All right. This is here. So 76,825. The Taboose fire, which has 10,000. Where I don't know where that is exactly. Oh, it's over here. All right. That has 10,296 acres. Let me just go back to the main map here. Trying to get you have the Burris fire, Easy fire. These are by acres. Getty, yeah, I don't know. We can't get information on Getty. It just is burning for 2 days. So Cal Fire is not giving us information. I don't understand why we can't even get information on all these fires as far as how many acres they've burned. But this is the Getty fire over here. Is a map of where it's burned. Palisades fire. I mean, there's so many. The whole state. It seems like the whole state is on fire. Can you imagine? I mean, this is unbelievable. And this is all due to climate change because you're seeing this unusually dry air. You're seeing this, dichotomy going on with the precipitation in this country. Where the east is getting wetter and more tropical, and the west, California is just turning into a desert. 5% humidity, that's what you get in a desert. But it's not a desert. There's vegetation. And so everything is just tinder dry and just literally just explodes into flames. Let's go back to the EOS. Let's go to this because I can actually add some layers here. So let's do this. Let's add some fire layers here so you can see what's going on here. All right. So fires and thermal anomalies we're going to add. So we're going to add all this. And we're going to go ahead and add this to our thing. And now that should be added. So we're going to add that layer. It'll show all the fires that we have here in the state. So here you go. Here's the Kinkade fire. This is the best map I can do. So this is the Kinkade fire right here. You can see it here north of Santa Rosa. And, I mean, look at all the smoke from that this is putting out, too. You can see it's going all around. And then you have fires over here, too. This is the fire in Southern California. And then some more over here into Mexico even. So this whole area is just drying up basically, and as it dries up, it's just catching on fire, and it's just, the electric companies need to do a better job, and if they're the ones starting it, then they need to maintain their stuff, and I mean, it's unacceptable. We knew this was going to happen. We knew climate change was going to bring these kind of conditions to California. The electric companies had years and years, and I'm talking about you mostly, Pacific Gas and Electric, years and years to fix their grid, but instead they pocketed the money as profit instead of putting it into the grid. And now you're having all these fires breaking out. And it's just terrible tragedy that is just unfolding in California. And I want to go back to Twitter if we can. So I'm going to look up the Kinkade fire here and see what's going on with that one. Kinkade fire. Look up for that. Residents returning. Okay, so we are seeing some residents returning. Biggest wildfire of 2019, 100,000 residents, 124 structures destroyed, and 90,000 more threatened, including 80,000 homes. PG&E is going to credit customers. This is the Diablo winds and the Santa Ana winds. So here's a nice little demonstrate. Here's I think I'm going to wrap it up with this here so you can see. This is let me make this a little larger so you can see what's going on here in this graphic. Okay, so let's watch this graphic again. And you see here, just pause it right there. So you see what's going on. All right, we have this crazy trough that we spoke about right here. All right, but it's so twisted that it's bringing in this cold, dry air, very cold, dry air from Canada, and then it goes down these mountains and causes these wind events. Because the moisture is literally cut off from the west coast. It's just cut off from the entire west coast. It's all going to the east of the Rockies, where it's getting wetter and wetter. But wherever you have more moisture on this side, you have less moisture on this side. So you're having drier and drier conditions, which cause these fires just to get out of control. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, this is insanity here. Insanity. So, strong winds have returned tonight, and the Kinkade fire can now be seen from San Francisco. So take a look at this. This is what it looks like from San Francisco. They could actually see the flames. Man. These are the extreme conditions firefighters are trying to contain the Kinkade fire. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And then we haven't even spoken about the ones in Southern California, like the Getty fire. All right, so we're going to look at Getty fire now. All right. I mean, there's so many fires. Look at this. National Weather Service, extreme rare red flag, 80-mile-an-hour winds. We're seeing crazy climate going on right now. Every evacuations, can you imagine everything you know just being destroyed and not even having power? This is the reality of the climate crisis. This is what people are going through. They had to drive through this stuff. Some videos here of this. So this is how bad these fires are. It's just, there was a tree branch that broke off and landed on power lines, so it was caused by power lines. They really need to bury the grid or something over there. I know it's going to be monumental, but we can't have these power lines above ground. It's just too dangerous with these wind events now that are occurring. And shutting off power is not the answer. But this is the Getty fire. This is what it looks like here. Wow. Indeed. Indeed. Wow. So here's the sad thing, and I'm just going to put it at that. Let's put on CNN.com here. Let's see if the fires are even in their top stories. Let's just see. Nope, nothing about the fires. Where is anything about the fires? Nothing. See, they only gear to a certain demographic. You know, a certain demographic doesn't want you to know that this planet is in crisis. Do have trending wildfires, but if you look at top story, nothing about the fires. Nothing. It's all, half the stuff's all about Trump. It's all about Fox News. Let's go to Fox News. Nothing. All right, at least they have a little bit about the fires, but not that much. Not that much about the fires. Nope. So you can see what goes on here. Nobody really cares about the fires. California's on fire, and it's not even the top headline on most mainstream media. Think about the hundreds of thousands of people that are going through no power, having to deal with fleeing fires, fleeing for their lives in some cases, and the mainstream media is nowhere to be found. It's absolutely unacceptable, but this is because they all care about one thing, and that's Wall Street and the finance professionals, and they want to keep you pretending that, you know, just forgetting about the crisis this planet is in, so we can keep living like we've been living and consuming so much fossil fuels and consuming like it's no tomorrow, because that's what Wall Street wants you to do. Meanwhile, this planet is dying. All right? We better wake up. I don't care how many thumbs down I get for going against Wall Street. I will continue to go against Wall Street until we get Wall Street out of our lives. That's it for this video.